Welcome to Elland Road for the second division match between Leeds United and Hull City. Well, we've got a bright and blustery day here. There's been a fair amount of rain this morning, but thankfully it has stopped. So the conditions could be just a little bit tricky out there with this nasty swirling wind blowing around the ground. The team news is that Leeds United show two changes. Out go Peter Haddock, a little bit unfortunate I feel, and also out is Bob Taylor, who is injured. And in comes John Stiles at number 7. He's been out to injury for a long time, so it's nice to see him back. And in also comes Glyn Snowden, also back after injury. The two substitutes for Leeds United this afternoon, number 12 Peter Mumby and number 14 Peter Haddock, who has the substitute shirt, or one of them, this afternoon. The Hull City side, well, they have no problems as far as team selects are concerned. They've gone 4 matches unchanged, so there's no problems for Brian Horton, the Hull City manager. Hull, the only unbeaten league team in the second division this season. And away we go with Leeds United defending the goal to our left in the white. Hull City, as you see, in their yellow strip and black shorts. Rennie, down to Askew, putting it wide, but that's too much pace on it. Big number 9, Dyer. Askew looking for Daniel. Still Daniel. Broken up by Adams. Sheridan caught in possession, but retrieves the situation at the expense of a corner. So the first corner within 30 seconds to Hull City. Askew with the corner for Hull. Away by Hazelwood, but it's only as far as Parker. Looking again for Daniel, but Aspin putting it out of play. Again. Defence, but Parker getting a shot in, coming wide to Jobson, but the linesman on the far side offside. The officials today, Mr. Bridges, the referee from D side, the linesman with the yellow flag, Mr. Henderson from Redcar, and with the yellow and red trim is Mr. Loudon from Middlesbrough. And the sun trying to peek through these grey clouds. And it's Palmer now, one of 3 coloured players in the Hull City side with the throw. Dyer. For a bun. It's again Parker. Dyer again. Adams. Pearson. Sheridan. Palmer, again to Dyer. Parker. John Stiles, thank you very much. Nice one to Sheridan. Sheridan caught in possession, but the referee didn't like the challenge from Parker. The referee wants play to be held up. He's quite happy now as Rennie takes the kick onto Pearson. Skipper putting the ball out of play. It's Peter Skipper. That's with Glenn Snowden. And this time a corner to Leeds. Sheridan. Pearson beaten by Jobson. Back from whence it came. Pearson down to Styles. And that hit a defender, didn't know much about it. Hazelwood. Good interception by Billy Askew. And a nice clearance too. Frank Bunn. That's a nice one on that far side to Roberts, the Hull City captain, inside to Dyer. The referee just having a word with the Hull City striker, feet up there on Mervyn Day. Styles, Edwards, Parker, to Tony Norman, 7 seasons with Hull City and 3 caps for Wales. And look, there you see the ball curling back, Hull with the wind blowing in their faces, so Leeds with the first half advantage of the wind. Aspin, Askew. But Jackie Ashurst closely watching Dyer. Edwards can't get the better of Skipper. Daniel. Rennie. Styles. Edwards. Aspin. Sheridan. That was just too far for Keith Edwards. Palmer. It's about Hurd. Daniel. Again to Hurd. Adams, Hazelwood, Snowden, play on, says Mr. Bridges. I think Snowden was looking for a free kick. Rennie, doing so well in the position vacated by skipper Brendan Ormsby with that bad injury he got in the last match of the season. David Rennie, an excellent player. So to Snowden, who was brought down. David Rennie really has had an excellent season so far. Sheridan, Snowden. Not a lot that Tony Norman knew about that, but he did his job well enough. He kept the ball out. Parker clearing for Hull City. Adams by Roberts, now to Dyer. Fair turn of speed, the big number 9, and not bad ball control on the ground either. That wasn't a bad effort. That was just wide, but he did well. Hurd. Ashurst. Aspen. Offside. Ashurst. Too far for Pearson. Jobson has the easy task of heading down. Now it's wide for the Hull City captain, Gareth Roberts. Looks as though he was penalised. Off the ball, which I didn't see, is a Hull City player who has taken a knock, which for the moment escapes me. So Charlie Palmer for Hull City. Looking for Roberts. A firm header by Adams. Dyer getting a lot of the ball in this first 10 minutes is Dyer. Styles. Edwards, good link between the two of them. Still Styles. And John Styles has shown 3 lovely touches, decisive moves, kept the ball moving. Aspin. Pearson looks like the meat in the sandwich. Styles amongst the thick of it again. Hazelwood coming in, it comes out to Adams. Sheridan. Adams interchanging passes, but that was telegraphed. Adams settling well in the Leeds side since he was signed from Coventry City. Parker. Adams into the back of Parker. I think it was Frank Brunt who felt the challenge from Adams. There he is again, Adams. Glenn Snowden. Sheridan. Roberts again, the interceptor. And Hull coming away with it. It's Dyer, but Ashurst there, but it ricochets for Dyer. Good run by the big fella, but Aspin, seeing the danger, intercepts back to Mervyn Day. Leeds having problems scoring goals this season. They've not conceded very many, but by the same token they haven't scored very many. Sheridan out to try and alter that as it goes out to Hazelwood. Snowden decided to have a go, and again Tony Norman, as he did in the 7th minute, didn't know much about it and was quite happy to punch it round. Again, just as he did in the 7th minute, beating it out. Sheridan. Parker will have the easiest of tasks. Snowden. Roberts. Askew. Fun. Askew out to Roberts. Snowden. Edwards. Well, really, you can't afford to give the ball away in that position. Leeds are coming away on the counter. And it's only a bad pass from the Hull City side that got Leeds off the hook. So John Stiles with the throw for Leeds. Pearson. That's Hurd. And it's Askew looking for Daniel. And, Key Adams. Leeds throw. Trips. So the game just simmering at the moment. There's been the odd sign that it might boil, but that's been quickly dampened. Pearson. Parker. Parker, was signed from Luton Town for 72,000 in the month of February 1985. Just offside there, Frank Bunn. Good ball by David Rennie. He finds Clint Snowden. There's Adams to his left. Edwards. Oh, Keith Edwards really out of sorts with himself this afternoon, but Leeds so far this afternoon, I should say, he's tried to put those nice touches that he has to good effect, but it's one of those afternoons so far when nothing seems to go right. Sheridan, Stiles, Pearson, Roberts, Rennie, but offside. Half an hour gone and it's still goalless. Rennie, Snowden, Hazelwood and Snowden between them got themselves in a bit of a mess, and the referee didn't like the challenge from Mark Hazelwood. Pat Hurd had a number of clubs as Pat Hurd. Aston Villa, Sheffield Wednesday, Newcastle and Middlesbrough, so he's much travelled. Leeds have conceded a needless corner, I thought then. Roberts with the corner. Skipper got there, Mervyn Day and Jackie Ashurst were all at sea. It's Jobson, now to Askew. Away by Rennie, only to Askew again. Leeds get the throw. There's the man, John Stiles, in for his first game for a number of months. Nice to see him back. Pearson again. Hazelwood. Now a chance for Glenn Snowden. Have to wait for some support. It's now there. Edwards. But again the timely tackle, but it's back with Snowden. Now Stiles looking for Edwards, but it's Roberts. play on as Roberts is flattened by Hazelwood. The referee was right on the ball. It's now with Sheridan. Inside he goes, outside he goes, a chip. It's hanging about Pearson, and then Tony Norman. And Roberts is just on his knees at the moment in centre field. There was certainly a clash there with the Leeds United captain, but he's picked himself up. Wood. Heard from Parker. Ashurst, Sheridan. Now can Leeds step up a gear? It needs to be altered, does this pace? Something that little bit extra. Referee waving play on as appeal for handball goes, but Frank Bunn is caught offside. Edwards, a nice chest inside for Styles. Well, he thought he'd have a go. They've all been having a crack. The two Hull City players there, but Jackie Ashurst was the first man to the ball. Pearson wins the free kick. Lucky to get that one back. He puts it straight to a defender. For a Bunn. Inside the play. That's Pat Hurd for Hull City. Again. Snowden, covering a little bit there for Adams, Wood, Pearson. He showed a lot of that one, didn't get away with it. Let's ask you. Wide to Hurt, Spillers here again. Daniel takes on Aspin and goes round him. Aspin comes back, but the cross comes in, it's not a bad one either. Cool work by Adams, Hazelwood, Sheridan. Nice work out from the Leeds defence this. Styles now on the ball. Aspin wide, but that's too far for him. Well, a lovely move right from their own penalty area. Styles, Aspin, Hurd. When Styles got one on the back of the left knee there, and the linesman has his flag raised, and that looked a little bit nasty. He's had a fair bit of injury problem, more than his share as John Styles, and that was just a little late by Pat Hurd. Thankfully, John Styles is on his feet again. Ashurst. Down picking that one up. Dyer. Askew. It's a nasty hanging one. Well, how about that for a one-handed collection? Well, get his place in a basketball team, Irving Day, with a collection like that. Sheridan. That's nice. Aspin. Edwards. Styles. That was asking a lot for John Styles. Too sharp pass there from Edwards. Ashurst straight to Parker, picking that one up nicely in midfield. Roberts. Free kick conceded by Adams. Doesn't quite agree with the linesman, as you can see. So 5 minutes remaining of this half, and it's still goalless so far. Aspin just getting a forehead to that, only as far as Askew. A lot of yellow shirts there. Robson trying his hardest there, but couldn't get through the wall of white shirts. Styles look to be moving okay now, as you saw there. Thankfully. Dyer to Hurd. Askew back to Hurd. Still a whole throw. Daniel. In for Bunn to Askew. Hurd again, figuring quite prominently of late. That's a good cross. Mervyn Day going in where it hurts, collecting. And clearing first time to Edwards. Sheridan. Edwards. Now a good move to Snowden. Askew looking for his keeper, in trouble. Sheridan. Styles, but John Styles is looking for Pearson. He gets there. Snowden, it's just too far for him to control. But away comes Dyer. Look at the long legs gobbling up the ground. But Aspin has pulled him down, and the referee may go to his notebook. And the referee wanting a word with Neil Aspin. And it looks very much as though Aspin is going into the book. You'll probably see the yellow card raised aloft. Well, now they normally this season hoist the yellow card, but he hasn't done. But it looks as though Aspin was booked. Certainly went for his notebook. Askew. Daniel. Again Askew. Palmer coming in. Pearson. Hurd. Sheridan, just enough touch for Aspin. Edwards. Just the injury time of this first half remaining. In fact, the referee brings the first half to a close, a half in which goals are still very much conspicuous by their absence for Leeds United. Really a half that's been fairly quiet for this crowd, not a lot to get excited about. Snowden in the 7th minute had a shot beaten out by Tony Norman. Again, he had the similar sort of shot beaten out by the keeper. Edwards put one wide in a good position, and Dyer just had the one chance for Hull City in the 8th minute. So a half that never really got to the boil, and the crowd just a little bit disappointed with the first half display from Leeds United. So half-time, Leeds United 0, Hull City 0. Right, so we're ready for the start of the second half, and Leeds United have lost the services of their captain, Mark Hazelwood, and on comes Peter Haddock. Hazelwood's clash with Roberts, obviously a little bit more serious than we thought. So it's Peter Haddock, the number 14 shirt, on for Hazelwood. It's a bad kick by Mervyn Day. So the Leeds United injury toll continues. Of course, there's no Gary Williams today either. They've probably nearly got a first team injured. But such is the depth of the squad that Billy Bremner has put together this season that hopefully they can ride the storm. So Leeds defending the goal to our right as we look at the monitor. Hull City, blue shirts, very, very mobile side, and one can certainly see why they're unbeaten in the second division this season. They're a very, very mobile side, as I say. A fair amount of aggression in amongst the talent too. Just emphasising that fact there, as Edwards was brought down by Palmer. So one hopes that the injury to Hazelwood isn't too serious. But as I said before the kick-off, that I think Peter Haddock was a little bit unfortunate to lose his place, but he's now back on. Sheridan. Adams, can he hold the ball in? He can, but the Hull City defender is there. Styles. Too far for Pearson, not too far for Skipper. It's Askew. It's too far. Snowden. Palmer. Bunn. Big useful player. Takes a lot of shifting off the ball. Now it's Roberts. Dyer. Still Dyer. That's good work by the number 9, and he's given early notice at 3 minutes into the second half, and Dyer has put Hull City in the lead. Well, he's looked dangerous from the first whistle. Leeds were a bit leaden-footed, but the big man wormed his way in and out and eventually stuck the ball past Mervyn Day. So Leeds United go behind 3 minutes into the second half. That's the man number 9 who did it. But it looked by far and away the best Hull City player. And rather fitting that he should get the goal. So Leeds now have got their work cut out. They could have had a couple in the first half possibly, but Tony Norman, the Welsh international goalkeeper, brought out 2 saves. Granted, they were beaten out, but the object was achieved. So Leeds now have got a fair uphill struggle. something like 14 matches Leeds haven't lost at Ellen Road. They're going to have to raise the game, going to have that little bit of something special, because Hull City, with their tails up now, leading 1-0. A long way to go yet, but that could well be the spur that Leeds need. The wrong sort of spur, one might say, but it certainly did something to try and help raise the game. Adams. Again. And just off camera, Adams and Roberts are just having a little stare at each other. And Snowden's not quite happy with the situation. The referee, I think, may have a word with them. Yes, he's going to have a word with Bunn and Snowden. Snowden's coming away. And Roberts has now joined the board meeting. Rennie, Sheridan, Styles. It's terribly short. Adams, Pearson, Snowden, Sheridan, Pearson, trying to get it inside. Bit of a wrestling match between Frank Bunn and David Rennie. Pearson over the top. It's a goal kick. Styles and the cop behind Tony Norman's goal thought that was a corner. Mr. Bridges signalling a goal kick. Ashurst. Bunn, Roberts, Adams and Roberts having a fair old tussle on this left-hand side. Palmer, one of the three coloured players in the Hull City side, with the free kick. Pearson back in defence, Styles helping it out. As far as Pat Hurd. Ashurst. Hurd again, looking for Daniel. Styles into Sheridan. Back again to Ian Styles. Edwards. Straight to Askew, who took it gratefully. Palmer. Dyer. Awkward, but yet skillful, number 9, still with the ball. Parker, I think Daniel would catch that one. Roberts, rather. Haddock. Palmer. Ashurst. Well, Peter Haddock is playing in midfield. I would probably have thought that Adams may have gone to midfield and Haddock dropped to left back, but not so at the moment. He has played at left back for Leeds, that's Peter Haddock. A through ball there that Mervyn Day has to slide tackle out. Leeds were looking for an offside flag, it never came. And Leeds looking just a little bit unsettled since that goal 3 minutes into the second half went in from Dyer. And now it's Palmer. Still Palmer, but Styles returning it to Haddock, then Sheridan. Now John Sheridan on the ball. Through for Snowden. But look at the ground that Palmer covered to retrieve that ball. Snowden to Haddock. Snowden. It's a corner. John Sheridan with it. Pearson back heads. Rennie was there, but the ball took a deflection. The power was taken off it, and Tony Norman cradled it to his chest. Adams and Roberts both missed that one, but Dyer picks it up. Wide again to Roberts. Adams in like a flash. Palmer looking for Bunn, and Daniel was in. Parker's there, off the line by Rennie. Good work by David Rennie. He saved the day for Leeds then, because that shot was goalward. Well, nearly Leeds were 2 down then. They were nearly 2 down then, but for David Rennie. Askew, Mervyn Day. Referee just having the word with Mervyn Day. Parker virtually unchallenged. Offside. Rennie to Haddock. Snowden. Edwards for Adams. Tony Norman saving the corner. Palmer. David Rennie, uncharacteristically misses that one, and Bunn in looking for Dyer, and Sheridan puts it back. Leeds in problems again, but Rennie there just in time. Styles had lost out, but Sheridan retrieves it, and Adams comes away. Adams for Leeds. Jobson there for Hull City. Well, that was so uncharacteristic of David Rennie. It's about the first mistake he's made throughout the match. I think in his efforts to keep the ball moving, keep play moving, he slightly took his eye off the ball. Sheridan to Pearson, waiting for it, is beaten by Skipper, the number 5. Now it's with Styles, Sheridan, Edwards. And Putting nothing together, the Leeds forwards. The way comes Daniel for Bunn, is onside. Frankie Bunn shoots, good shot, and I think Mervyn Day got a hand to it. So Leeds on the rack a little bit. Hull City defending an unbeaten record in the second division this season, as their captain Roberts takes the corner. Snowden completely misjudging the bounce. Askew to Roberts, he keeps it in play, gets the cross in, and Haddock has to concede the corner. Mervyn Day, positive collection, good throw to Edwards, nice ball inside for Sheridan. Snowden on the left here. Haddock, Pearson, goal kick. The manager Billy Bremner will bring on his remaining substitute Peter Mumby. It's open to speculation at the moment. Leeds will want to try and preserve their 14-match unbeaten run here at Ellen Road, but it's looking a bit shaky at the moment. Free kick is 4 feet up. Rennie, Haddock. Herbs by Norman out of his area. Spin. Styles, Sheridan, to Adams. That's a good ball to Snowden. Takes a lot of shaking off that ball. Bunn lost out though, it's now with Sheridan. Haddock to Snowden. Peter Haddock coming forward, a lot of white shirts forward now. Edwards. Oh, the Leeds attack's breaking down, but this man, Dyer again. That's not a bad looking ball, but Mervyn Day quickly accelerating off his line. Styles. Adams, Snowden, Sheridan, Adams working his heart out. Adams, just look at him go. Nice back heel to Snowden, a low cross, that could have gone anywhere. Styles, Sheridan. Looking for some space. Edwards, skipper there first. Now then, it's Bunn on a break. Down goes Ashurst with Bunn. Will play on to the referee. It comes out to Parker. The danger still not over for Leeds. Parker, good shot, it's there. 2-0. So Parker puts Hull City 2-0 in the lead. It was a good goal. The danger looked to have been averted. Askew, Dyer, that's the man that's caused a lot of problems for Leeds today. Well, Leeds really have now got to throw caution to the wind, but they're looking out of sorts. And Hull looking by far the better side. But Aspin trying to retrieve something for Leeds. Still Aspin. Snowden. Edwards is onside, and again Tony Norman. A brave save from the Hull City keeper. Sheridan. Edwards said he was obstructed then. The referee waves play on. Ashurst. Snowden. Haddock. Pearson. Rennie. Pearson. Aspin. Sheridan to Styles. To Adams. Sheridan. And again, that looks to be too far, is it? Oh no, Snowden has kept that one in rather. Haddock. Styles. Adams. Aspin. Styles. For Bunn for a race with Rennie to Peter Haddock. Hull coming out now, keeping the Leeds forwards at bay. Ashurst. Bunn. Askew. It's looking to be all over for Leeds United. Just 2 minutes remaining. 2 goals required just to put them back on level terms. I, for one, can't see it happening. Haddock. Edwards. Snowden. Pearson can't get there. Hurd controls well and looks for Dyer. On now for the number 8, Frank Bunn. He turns. Now it's with Askew. That was a chance for Hull. That could have been goal number 3. Haddock. Adams. Sheridan. Styles. Snowden. Haddock. Pearson. A bit of a hospital ball there. The ball went nowhere really. But the referee brings the game to an end. A game in which Leeds United will want to forget very, very quickly indeed. But a fine performance from Hull City. 2 killer goals, the one particularly 3 minutes into the second half from Dyer, who had always looked dangerous for Hull City. So Hull City's unbeaten run continues, and Leeds United's unbeaten run at home is ended. And it could well mean the chequebook being brought out for Billy Bremner to try and find a striker, which he has been trying to do. But a performance from Leeds which will best be forgotten. And mind you, Billy Bremner will have words to say, I've no doubt. So Hull City, the winners here at Ellen Road by 2 goals to 0.